Have a great day. Thank you. I am back. It is 6 a.m. and we are heading 5 hours up to Sudbury for the only film production shoot of this year. It is going to be an amazing day. It's currently single digits above freezing. The AC on this coach doesn't work, so it's a beautiful day to go for a drive. And I am so excited to stretch the legs and take the dog for a walk. We got 5 hours. Our friends at Tisdale are going to help us with a wash. We're going to get on set, and we're just going to catch up on a summer's worth of relaxation and driving and therapy, and really get the most use out of this old girl today. So my voice is a little messed up. I'm on some new meds. I'm perfectly fine, but it causes some dehydration and some issues. So I sound, oh, I love that blow off sound. So I sound a little bit rough and worse for the wear, but I'm not. I'm good. I'm fine. So bear with me. We're going to get some vehicles moved around, release the brakes, and start heading north. we go. We got good oil pressure, we got good voltage, we got fuel, water temp is coming up nicely, speed is reflected nicely, no new noises, no new gremlins that I can hear or feel or see. I did go over the bus quite extensively yesterday. I went over all the things that you would typically do on a pre-trip, even though this thing is not commercial, not for hire. I am not loving how dusty and dirty she is, but it's just the nature of the beast with this chapter of life. So it is what it is. We're gonna get up there and get a nice fresh wash. It'll be her best wash yet of the year, and then we'll head over to the set. My understanding is that they only need me for a little bit as a background prop, and then one scene of me driving away, and then we're back to Ottawa. So it's a nice excuse to get out and stretch her legs and keep her alive. Everyone knows that vehicles want to run, they want to ride, they want to go. The worst thing for a vehicle is to let it sit. So while there's an illusion that I'm affluent or well off, or have more means than I actually do, I am a single dad. I am going through a lot of changes in life right now. I am busting my butt to get ahead and provide for my little girl. And this MC9 has been a really nice and almost net zero hobby. When I was bringing it home from Winnipeg, when my dad and I found it 5 years ago this month, I was fortunate enough to get in touch with some people that appreciate it and would contribute to its existence in my care. So I don't get to drive it nearly as much as I'd like to, but between people making contributions and donations for its arrival and presentation at their events or shows, along with incredible people in the bus industry that I work near professionally, being able to afford me obsolete parts that they were going to just throw in the dumpster, or technical know-how and workarounds, or cross-reference parts to be able to source something that I need. This bus has been an incredible therapy with an incredibly therapeutic quality for me, the people who get to enjoy it, but it certainly does cast a very inaccurate image of my socioeconomic status. So having the excuse to get out here and drive a 43-year-old Greyhound replica up to Sudbury and back feels incredible. And there's always a stress when you're out driving something vintage. There's always a worry in the back of your mind of the what if, but it's either going to happen on the road or it's going to happen from sitting. So I may as well have some fun with it and enjoy it, get the looks. I'm a little ashamed of how dusty it is, especially on the way up there as we turn heads. We're going to go through Madawaska, and I always turn heads in Madawaska because there's a general store that was a Greyhound Canada agent, and they still have the sign out front from when that was the pickup and drop-off point connecting, the Trans-Canada Highway going out to Manitoba. So every time I drive through town, the locals like to stop and stare. But right now, I am definitely not an in-service bus, not only because it's a silver-sided obsolete bus from a carrier that no longer exists here, but it's also dirty as heck. So it'll feel really good to get through that bus wash, get on set, have her appreciated, and then drive home tonight with some tire shine and some clear windows and literally the dust blown off of her. So we're in Ottawa right now. It's 6:19. We'll stop for some fuel and a coffee, get to Sudbury. I have a 5-hour drive time, and I have 6.5 hours until they want me on set ready to go. So I am cutting it a little close. However, I also need to be awake and alert to drive home tonight, and I didn't want to get up there too early and then on the tail end of the day be feeling the fatigue. But so far so good. Good voltage. Water temp is holding right where I like it, just under 180. Oil pressure's good, right where it's always been. We're cruising just under 110 kilometers an hour. We're gonna grab some hills here, so that'll bleed off, but I'm empty. I don't have any passengers, obviously, and I'm not full of luggage, so I'm just gonna give the old girl a nice leisurely deadhead up to Sudbury. Sometimes I kind of wish I had a CB to hear what people are saying. Alright, well, we are about an hour out of where I left you guys off last time. The drive is going incredibly well, but we went from a beautiful blue sky, awesome temperature, to thick fog, complete drop in temperature, and not great visibility. I can see that vehicle in front of me. It's just clearing up now. It's about 500 meters of visibility. Thankfully that car, it's a European brand. He threw on his rear fog light, that one single steady intense red, which I was able to gauge what it was that he was doing and where he was in those curves. And it looks like we're about to come back into some more thick fog. But yeah, not exactly what I had 5 kilometers ago, which was just amazing scenery with a field full of cattle. There were some deer. I saw one buck that just had an incredible set of antlers on him. It was something out of a movie, just coming around this nice corner with the sun shining through the side window. The sunshade up here was just as bright as can be with the old vintage pattern. It just, that part of the drive with the sun and the wildlife and the highway up here was my one moment so far where I just was transcended. And then 3 minutes later, I'm bleeding speed and hovering the pedals to downshift, grab a gear, or avoid something. You know, being up here, there's obviously a concern of wildlife. There's a concern of deer and turkeys that could take out a windshield. But like coming into this stuff as we're getting thicker, I'm just gonna bleed off my speed because I can't see if there's anyone coming out of a driveway. I'm not as concerned about the traffic that's already existing on the roadway. I'm more concerned about people trying to enter the highway and not seeing me coming. So I've actually got my headlights on, and you can see the indicator. I got my high beams on even. The high beams on this coach are halogen. Well, they all are. I haven't updated them to LED. I want to keep it period correct. But they are amazing. I actually enjoy driving with these halogen lights better than I do driving some of the motor coaches at work with HIDs. The new LEDs are unparalleled. I do find that some of the new LEDs are too intense, and the reflection off of some of the street signs that aren't designed for LEDs, they were designed with halogen technology. It's just too much. I sometimes wince and squint at night with the reflection off of the road signs with the LEDs. But these halogens I absolutely adore, so I've thrown them on in the thick fog. And we always have our old trusty air horn. So left foot does clutch, high beam, low beam, air horn. Right foot does gas and brake, or fuel and brake. And then shifting, and it's a choreographed ballet, especially when you're coming to a sudden stop, which I don't want to experience today. There you go. So the weather's trying to poke through here, but we've still got some reduced visibility, so for a little while yet we'll have the high beams on and cruise along at a decent speed, keeping tons of distance between that vehicle and myself. And by being able to see his one rear fog light, I'll be able to see his brake lights if he or she comes upon something that I need to be worried about. There we go, there's the idea. I should have driven a coach 40 years ago. This is so much nicer. It just feels like the sun shining into your grandma's living room. I just love it. This is the best. Well, I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm going to shut this off and crank the music again. I got my Bluetooth hooked up to Sirius satellite radio on my phone, so I'm going to get back to listening to the highway and check in soon. First stop, 3 hours into the drive, 2 hours from our destination. I'm in Madawaska, and I could not be happier with how she's running. She is holding the road phenomenally. I wanted to stop, get a coffee, walk around, feel the hubs, check the tires. I have no concerns. I have no new developed symptoms of anything to be concerned about. No new rattles or squeaks or squeals or stiffness. So this should be a quick stop, and then just under 2 hours to the bus wash, and then across town to the set. So it's a beautiful day for a drive. Nice and brisk. I had the heat on low. I had the fresh air vent. Mechanics at work call the little fresh air forced air vent down by your knees called the ball chiller. So I had that wide open. It's an awesome day. Things are going swimmingly so far, which I am appreciating. Where is it here? Here's the GPS. Put that on the quad lock. And yeah, so being that it's dark, you can see all the runoff from the morning dew with all the dirt. And yeah, definitely gonna enjoy a wash and a degrease. But I gotta say, I'm happy that just with, aside from the regular crud, my white rims are pretty clean. Like, I checked my hub oils and all that, and everything's good. This good old dirty old two-stroke. Oh, look at the oil. If she's not leaking it, she's not getting it. But that's typical, that's standard. That's been the last 5 years, and probably, I don't know, 5 years and maybe 8,000 kilometers I put on her. If there's no oil on the back, I'm worried. But I would definitely want to clean that up for the movie shoot. So I'm going to make a couple calls, update a few people on progress and location. I don't think there's any interior shots, so I'm not going to be worried about my information board or the easel. As you guys know, I like to take the vehicle to shows. So, you know, I've got plaques that I've won, I've got information banner stuff, I got memorabilia, models, easels, a pile of signage. I got, you know, the movie posters of other productions that I've had the bus in. This is the one that it was wrapped as a Greyhound for with Sean Penn. So I think my interior is going to be okay. I'm going to do a clean anyway and clean up the floors and wipe the glass and dust. But I don't think, fast idle, I don't think I'm going to have to hide anything to have interior shots on. Because, for example, normally what happens to have room for film crew, sound guy, director. When they shoot, they typically shoot from around here back, and that would involve having to hide my information board, hide my easel, take out the table, turn this bench around. So this is why I put out at shows with all the information. So we're in good shape. So we're more than halfway, 2 hours to my bus wash, and away we go. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing cleaned. This bus hates sitting, and the unfortunate part is when you open that door, everything comes rushing in and lands on everything. So, high idle is off, brakes released. In gear, we only have one cup holder, so we are going to double clutch and turn and keep trucking with our Timmies. Oh, show there, bud. Just come on right out there, eh, bud? Lord Tundern. All right. No one there, no one here. We can go for it. Ooh, nice truck. W9. Oof. Let's get her up to speed and keep on sailing. I would play some music, but I don't want to get copyrighted. North Bay, 64 kilometers. Away we go. Well, I am in a little town just before North Bay called Corbeil, Ontario. And this is actually a town where the second day of shooting on the first ever production I had this bus in my ownership, took place. So very familiar with it. I love this stop. It's McEwen's, very clean, very nice, well-stocked corner store called Quickie. So I'm gonna throw a couple 100 liters in the bus here. I'm not gonna go crazy. I like to store it for the winter with a full tank of fuel. I typically like to put like a winter blend fuel in it before I fill it. Run it for a little bit, get it through the system. I'm not confident yet at this time of the year, although it's single digit mornings, I'm not confident that they're filling their tanks with winter blend. So I'm just gonna throw in a couple 100 liters to get to the set and get home and get ready for work tomorrow, and just grab a snack inside and keep going and keep trucking. This is the best therapy ever. Can't wait to wash her. Inside, lift nozzle. Sweet. Let's go. Come on.
5 hours later.
Awesome. Thanks so much, eh?
Yeah.
Timeout.
Pause the video after this. One of the biggest supporters of my channel and my endeavors with my MCI MC9 is Capital City Apparel Co. Check out their website. You can buy some of my own merch direct from their website. They'll ship direct to your door. And if you don't want any of my stuff, you can commission them for your own fundraisers, projects, uniforms, anything at all. They have an amazing product with amazing software and endless capabilities. I've put this through the dryer dozens of times. There's no cracking, there's no fading, there's no peeling. Everything looks as fresh as the day it was done, and I cannot thank them enough for a top shelf product. So please head on over to their website, give them some love, please help support the project. And like I say, if you need anything from them at all, check out the website, get them on social media, shoot them a direct message. They will move mountains with a teaspoon for you. And they are one of my biggest supporters, and I can't thank them enough for believing in me and helping me get my channels out there so we can keep this bus going down the road and in movies and appreciated. So thanks again. I am in Sudbury, and I made it to my dear friends at Tisdale Bus Lines up here for a awesome wash. I cannot thank them enough for taking care of the outside while I spruced up the inside. I'm now able to shoot right over to the set and look prim and look proper and not look like I've been sitting all summer in a dusty yard. So I cannot thank Jason and everyone at Tisdale enough for having me come by on a Sunday with open arms. I gotta say, if you're in Sudbury or Northern Ontario and you need to book a bus, or you're looking for a carrier to work for, please, please, please look up Tisdale. I'm not just saying that as a plug. I've known Jason for my entire motor coach career, and being in operations now in my day job has been invaluable in just seeing how amazing he is in management and the people that he's put in place. Because little known fact, I'm actually one of his drivers on the books. When I'm not doing my day job, and you all know where I work, I also do relief runs and relay drives and help out with Tisdale as a driver on the payroll. So seeing it from the inside and from the outside, from the driver's seat and from operations, I cannot say enough good things about Tisdale and the whole management and ownership team. So if you're in Sudbury or Timmins or Thunder Bay or Northern Ontario and you're looking for a bus connection for your career or for your trip, check out Tisdale, and I am positive, without asking them, if they can't help you, they'll put you in good, capable hands who can. All right, let's get to set. Oof, caught that downshift. Clutch, neutral, fuel, clutch, gear, let it out. A little hard on her, but I'd rather use my drivetrain to help slow down than just my brakes. Always scanning for cyclists and pedestrians and emergency vehicles. Now, I know a lot of drivers that watch me are going to have a lot of critiques, and yes, I do know how to float my gears. I choose not to in this thing. The transmission is nice and tight. I want to keep it that way. when I was trucking full time, I would only use the clutch for first and reverse, or the odd time a downshift if I had a heavy load on and I didn't want to put a nice big, you know, load or impact on the drivetrain. I would baby it and control that, but for the most part when I was trucking, I would float. But for this girl, I want to drive her as intended. And I think here's my set. Oh wow, I can actually read the plate. Nice. So what I'm going to do is, I have this full of the straight 40 weight oil. Obviously it's what we run for everything. Hub, power steering, and engine oil. While it's nice and hot and viscous, I'm going to add, you know, approximately half of this. See where my level is on the dipstick once everything settles, and that should bring my running pressure back up to where I want it to be. So we shall see. So we wait. So when I've been on set, you know, I've kind of picked up a few things over time. And if it's just outside shooting, or if it's, you know, driving by, things like that, the state of the interior really doesn't matter. However, oftentimes they like to capitalize on having the vehicle on set. It really helps place a time, place just everything about the plot. So there are things that I do to get rid of the telltales that it's 2025. So I'll get rid of my Instagram logo, and I will get rid of my Easy Pass for New York State for the tolls, and my MCI hat. My non-negotiables are the prayer cards. Prayer cards don't move. I don't care. You can put I don't know if it was Bill Murray or who it was, but you can put him on the moon or shaking hands with JFK in post-production. You can edit out the prayer cards if you don't like them. My co-pilots are non-negotiable, so they stay. My quad lock phone charger, it will come eventually. Oh, come on, I did too good of a job putting it on there today. And my USB 12-volt charger. By the way, amazing setup. Any professional driver, get this, and the phone case to match. And then other little things are like, I have a DVD player up here, but it's shoved back far enough that you don't see it. If you're entering and shooting up, Sandra, freehand painted by Rolly, that stays. That they can put whatever they want in. So the little things that I have that give away the year, I hide. So like when I drive later, if they're shooting up the stairs with a boarding scene, I'll turn that off. Goodbye. And yeah, so now we wait. You know, when I checked the weather, it's supposed to be a nice, beautiful day today. The art department just showed up to discuss prop plates and removing Henry's license plate and other stuff like that. And I made the point of what we've done in post-production before, and they're on board. They're totally cool with it. But as we were talking, the skies opened up. So I am still very, very thankful to Jason and Tisdale, and I'm glad that I washed the bus because it got the crud off, and now it just looks more authentic being wet. Hoping that this doesn't delay my placement on set and getting cut from set to get home and get ready for work tomorrow. But yeah, so now she is a very wet dog. Smells better than a wet dog, but I mean, she shines a little bit more, so that's cool. So I'm gonna go through my luggage bays, find some tools, do a couple little odd jobs and odds and ends while I wait, and see what happens. I feel so nude right now. So I'm on set, can't show a lot of the stuff outside the bus for obvious reasons, but I am the bus driver. So while they are covering my certified dirty idol and my Instagram logo and stuff like that, I've been given a wardrobe, and I've had to take my piercings out. Whew, I feel so naked. Next up, painting my hands. Oh, you got it. 6 takes, we got it. I am cut from the set. It is an awesome day here. Everyone's in a great mood. The background and fill-ins that I had on the bus were absolutely hilarious. So I'm gonna throw my piercings back in. I'm gonna set up my phone charger, put my stuff back to normal for period correct 2025 bus use. And I'm gonna get miles home. I might have to stop for fuel one more time. I didn't put much in it, but I did a lot of idling and high idling on set with those takes. I love this, I love it. Everyone should get an old bus. Everyone should do it. So, we are east of Sturgeon Falls, coming into North Bay. I think we're gonna be in some weather now for the rest of the drive, which is absolutely fine by me. It'll cool things off a little bit. The bus will get dirty, but c'est la vie. Had a great stop in Sturgeon Falls. I got my Tim Hortons, I had a wrap for dinner, and I got to see an awesome friend, Glenn Hellstern, who I met through the Facebook group Motor Coach Operators pre-pandemic. When I was a full-time driver and he was a full-time driver, we would often message and try to coordinate meeting up, and we were able to in 2018 when he was living down in the GTA and working for Great Canadian. We were able to meet up in Ottawa where I live. I brought him a coffee, or he brought me a coffee, I can't recall, but there was coffee, and we got to see each other in the Byward Market, which was awesome. And then another time I was meeting my dear friends and employers at Gypsy Wind Custom Coach with the entertainers, and we met at an en route or a similar type of coffee stop, and Glenn showed up in his personal vehicle and we got to hang out there and have coffee and talk buses, and far too much time had passed since seeing him, and he had never actually seen Sandra, my 1982 MC9. So it was nice to get him with the bus, put him behind the wheel, and although it was a very short 4-minute visit, I got to give him a hug and take a selfie and show him the bus and make a promise that I'll bring the bus back up with no other reason but just to visit and go burn some fuel and dust off his shifting skills. So I've still got about 4 hours to my pickup truck, and then I'm gonna go home and get ready for a day at the office tomorrow. But this is the best therapy money can buy. It's such a cathartic recharge to quote unquote take the dog for a walk, being a greyhound, and put on a little over 600 miles today, and get to be creative with a YouTube video, and get to be a part of a film production. The movie shoot went very well. Obviously can't talk about what it was or when it's coming out or anything like that, but I will be sure to share those details when it's being released. We did 6 or 8 takes after 2 or 3 rehearsal takes. So I was on set for about 3 hours, but once we actually got people in place, the marks set, the expectation delivered, it was very quick to knock it out of the park, get it done, give them what they need, and they moved on to their next scene without me, and I got cut loose. So this one day today has been so rewarding and therapeutic in so many ways, from driving the bus to being on set to making this YouTube video to seeing an incredible friend for the first time and since he moved up to Sturgeon Falls. I'm I'm living in my gauges. I got fuel, good engine temp, good voltage, good oil pressure. I got my Bluetooth hooked up, so when I'm not recording, I'm listening to my Sirius satellite radio, and I'm just enjoying the fall foliage, which is a lot more colorful and vibrant than it is back home right now, but another week or two back home it'll look just like this. So This is Highway 17, eastbound, west of North Bay. And we're going to be driving into the dark and driving into the rain. I got my air-powered wipers, my halogen headlights. I set the destination sign to Regina just to mess with people. It's kind of fun watching the faces of people on the sidewalks in small towns as one, a Greyhound goes by, and Greyhound has not been in Canada for several years now. And it's an old Greyhound, so they take a double take. But as the coach says on both sides on the glass, not for hire, but when you go by at 80 or 90 kilometers an hour in town doing 50 or 60, people don't see that as predominantly as they see the dog in the tree. We are back in Ottawa. It has been a long day, nearing 1,000 kilometers. And I have to say that, you know, for a lot of people who have hobby vehicles, and that's different. For a lot of people who have hobby vehicles and older vehicles and vintage equipment, it's not always a vehicle that you want to take long, hard, hot distances in. But this old girl is just such a therapy, and this dog loves to run. I know it's kitschy and it's weird to say that because she was never actually a Greyhound, but I am so blessed and so fortunate to be able to put on the distances that I put on this girl. So we did Ottawa to Sudbury, a short film shoot, and then Sudbury back to Ottawa in one day. And we've only got a few more kilometers to go. And we did 2 fuel stops, which would not have been the case if I had a full tank, but I had less than half a tank when I left, and I'm trying to keep the fuel a little low because I have a plan of what I want to do when I put the bus away for the whole winter. So I just wanted to put in what I would actually burn, but my temperature has been spot on today. My voltage, oil pressure, everything has been phenomenal. When I have not been filming, I've been listening to my Sirius satellite radio. Some of these 4-lane sections, we were cruising along at 75 miles an hour without skipping a beat. So I can't thank you guys enough for the patience with the videos. My personal life, my real life has been hectic as hell. And for those of you that are on my social media or know me in real life, you know what's been going on. You know that everything is great, but you know that everything has been busy and chaotic. Nothing cataclysmic at all, but just a lot. So I'm prioritizing time with my little girl and trying to do everything that I can on days that I don't have her, so that on days that I do have her, I can just shut out the world and be close and be there and make memories and not be, you know, away. So I don't know when the next video will be, but today was such a blessing to get out, get some miles, get some memories and some experiences, and stretch the legs on this girl, because she doesn't want to sit, she wants to go. So we are getting off at the next exit here. We'll get her parked and just get home to bed, because the morning is going to come quickly and it's back to the office. There's only so much time I can take off of work for fun stuff, and the office is definitely calling my name tomorrow. I'll grab the camera gear, I'll grab my laptop bag, and won't be doing a post trip on this girl. One thing that did happen is my right wiper did die in a rainstorm earlier. Fortunately, my left still works and functions no problem, but the right decided to give up the ghost. So when I have time to come back out to the bus, I'm gonna have to take that apart, either from the inside or look at it from the outside. I don't know. I still have resistance on the air valve in the dash, so I know I'm getting air through this control knob, but something over there on the actual mechanism isn't working. So if that's my only big repair this year, knock on wood, you know, before we're parked, I'm okay with that. You know, I operate this bus personally for fun, for therapy, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to work in this industry to give me the knowledge and the support and the friends and the access to parts to keep it going. Repairs are bound to happen, and I would rather... Oh, is our exit shut? That would be a fun little... No, we're good. Okay. So yeah, I'd rather have to just deal with a wiper mechanism than something a lot more catastrophic with a much more exorbitant cost. So one thing that I love about this is the actual driving nature. So wheel speed is 70, clutch neutral, fuel clutch fifth, here we go. And then wheel speed will come down to 50 and then 30. I love the actual input and skill that you need to continue driving this. Not just a matter of pointing it and aiming the bus. You actually have to drive it, which keeps you awake, keeps you on the ball, but it also keeps you in a bit of a relationship with the old girl. You get to learn her nuances, and you get to learn her preferences. We are going to follow that white van. So there's 30. I'm on the brake. Off the brake, clutch, neutral, fuel, clutch, gear, fuel, clutch. Here we go. Well, I am definitely looking forward to my pickup, going home, and crawling into bed.
right. And that's all she wrote. Until next time.